how's it going? Welcome to the Irish Golfer Podcast. Ronan McNamara here with you, and finally the golf season is finally starting to ramp up. We've had a bit of good weather over the last couple of weeks, and championship season is well and truly here. Next week we have the Flogas Irish Amateur Open Championship, which takes place in County Sligo Golf Club, and as part of that we're bringing out a little bit of a mini series of podcasts for you all with some of the championship's biggest stars, and it's all brought to you by Flogas, who are sponsoring all levels of Irish golf. I think you're really going to see that over the next few weeks and months ahead. First up on the podcast is a man who I know quite well. We've had a few chats over the last couple of years, but it's been a bit too quiet, so we decided we'd get him back onto the podcast. And it's a real horse for courses player, and he'll definitely be looking forward to returning to Ross's Point. It's no other than Roscommon's Allan Hill. Allan, thanks very much for joining us. I know you're a busy man. You're in your final year of Maynooth University, so thanks for taking a break from the books to join us.
I don't appreciate it, Ron. Anytime. Delighted to be on.
Good stuff. And look, Irish Amateur Championship, you haven't played it since 2021. A few different things have happened and all that kind of crack. So how much are you looking forward to getting going?
Yeah, absolutely. Can't wait to get back. I didn't play any championships last year. I was out through injuries. So, yeah, great. Looking forward to getting back into it. I think last time I was there was, as you said, European club. Decent chance there, but didn't fall my way now, unfortunately. But, yeah, played pretty decent last time out in Ross's Point as well in the West last year, or the year before even as well. So, yeah, can't wait. Looking forward to it. Be a nice test. Yeah, you made the semi-final there in the West 2 years ago. So is it fair to say that you're a man who, likes to play on the tough golf courses? Yeah, absolutely. I played a lot of golf in Ross's Point, even as a child. I was a junior member there for many years. So I think just even that and having kind of some sense of local knowledge kind of helps, especially that as well. When the weather gets kind of tough, my short game comes in handy. The long game isn't always the best now when it comes to myself. I just try to describe myself as box office, could do anything. But yeah, I think especially when the weather gets bad, that always helps. So yeah, hopefully the weather gets bad now for the summertime. It's fairly rolling along like that now at the moment. So hopefully it stays the same. One more week of wind and rain, says you. We've had enough of it so far, so why not bring us one more week of it? Like Ross's Point, it's obviously famous for holding the West, and it's kind of one of the staple golf courses of Irish golf. It's really the one that kickstarts the season. It is a really special place to go and play a championship at. It is, yeah, especially the history there. Like you see some of the names you go in, the West of Ireland winners, over the years been some fantastic players. Yeah, I think just the history of involved that's involved with Ross's Point there, and the challenge that it does present to the golfers, it's very special, and I presume that next month will be no different. Yeah, and look, you've had a couple of years sort of away from the championship scene with injury. Are you looking forward to really ploughing into the Irish season, I suppose, because you've kind of been away from the scene? Yeah, absolutely, Ronan. I think it's been a year and a half since I played any championship in Ireland, so just kind of with the dodgy hand at the moment. But yeah, I think definitely be nice to kind of go back and give it a bit of a run. As you said, I'm final year of college now, and 5 years of Maynooth. It's definitely served me well. So I think just give it one big final lash before I go into the working world. Exactly. I have any plans for the post-college life? In terms of golf, not really. Entering into the professional world now in September, so that'll be a bit of a change of scenery. Very good. And you're in your final year, of course, doing a part-time masters. It's fair to say you've enjoyed your time in Maynooth. Like Barry Fennelly runs a great golf program there. I think it's fair to say, and it's one that has gotten stronger almost every year with the facilities. The golf courses you get to hold a membership at, and then of course the schedule as well, and the student series is something that's looking to be kicking on every single year too. Yeah, absolutely. I think the chance I've got over the 5 years I've been here have been absolutely fantastic. I think you can get them anywhere else globally. Barry, to his full credit, runs an absolutely amazing program. What himself and the coaches and I suppose related staff do for us there it's absolutely second to none. Can't recommend it highly enough. I've had a chance to play, abroad in the States, good few times, and then like the likes of the RNA Student Tour Series came into fruition in my first year of college. I've had a good, I think it's 4 years of that. So, yeah, the opportunities we have here and the facilities that we have with all our kind of memberships, as you said, is absolutely fantastic. Exactly, and you obviously had your first win at the RNA Student Tour Series event in France recently.
it's obviously great to get a win. I know you had a few close calls over the last few years in those events. I think you had a course record in Portugal, but you finished second that week. I think it was in 2020, if I'm not mistaken. But to win an event, and then in particular to win it at Le Golf National, like that's a nice little one to have on the CV.
Yeah, it took me long enough, Ronan. I think it only took me to 5 years. Yeah, as I said, there was a few close calls thrown in there, but yeah, to get it done in Le Golf National, it's a notoriously hard golf course. I expect there's no kind of, you can't sleep on any golf shot over there. So I nearly threw it away in the end, but I think, yeah, it's absolutely, it's great to get it done.
Yeah, it's definitely one for your mantra where you play tough golf courses quite well. Like to be able to go and play a course like that, like what's the student series have done over the last couple of years to be able to bring you not only just abroad, but you're getting to play some world-class golf courses, like you've Le Golf National, you've got St Andrews then as well for the grand final. Like you're really getting to experience top-class golf.
Absolutely, Ronan. Yeah, I think so over the 5 years, like, you know, that it's definitely gone strength to strength in terms of both the quality courses and the quality of players. You see, like likes of ourselves have quite a few Palmer Cup players over recent years. But even at that, like it's so competitive between ourselves and maybe 4 or 5 other UK and European colleges. So I think that the opportunity we get, you know, it really gives us, you know, I suppose a platform to develop the skills and especially get a lot of competitive golf in between, you know, September and April, when there might not be as much happening back home, and especially when the weather's slightly better as well when you go to Europe. It's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. And then of course the win in France, there was certainly a lot behind that win, because as we mentioned there, it's been a tough couple of years for yourself. I think in 2022, like you've been from contending in Irish Championships, and then a wrist injury meant that you didn't really play at all last year. Like how tough has that been for you?
Yes, it's quite tough to manage, and it's still kind of ongoing at the moment. And definitely it's something I've really struggled with since I came into college, you know, just try and battle and even get myself to the golf course. Definitely hinders the amount of practice I can put in and stuff like that. It's definitely changed the perspective of the game for me, for sure. Instead of kind of being too serious of myself, what I would have been in recent times, like trying to just relax, play the golf, take every shot at a time, and trying to punish myself all at once. So yeah, I think that's definitely probably been one of the bigger things. Well, I suppose it's definitely a positive that's come out of it. Just trying to enjoy my golf more and just take every shot as it comes.
Yeah, when did you first encounter the injury, and at the time did you know that it was going to be as serious as it sort of turned out to be?
No, definitely not. I think it was just after Christmas of my first year in college. So I came back from playing, I think it was the Patriot All America at the time. So that's an event we have every Christmas, and I just like a bit of a niggle in my wrist, and I just took a few weeks off and just kind of never really went away, and it's kind of just getting progressively worse. Haven't really found the cure to it yet, unfortunately, but it's definitely something that's kind of hindered the progress of my game for sure in certain aspects.
Like how would you manage that then, I suppose, when you're playing your tournaments on the student series, and obviously now as you go into returning to the Irish Championships, like how do you manage that when you're playing? You know, do you practice heavily beforehand, or do you kind of take it easy?
Yeah, definitely wouldn't practice that much. Definitely not as much as I'd like, Ronan, anyway. I think it's all about, it should nearly be mostly rest, be kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum there for me. Just try and rest as much as I can and just kind of keep the game tipping over. I think it's just the main thing for me is trying to get to the events and then see what happens from there.
I hope there was no fears now that, like, oh my God, I mightn't be able to, you know, play golf for a good few years here. Was that ever on the mind?
Yeah, 100%. The last couple of years, I think even I took a good 6-7 months off. I played the student event in Troya. I think it was Troya last year. That was maybe late January, February time, and you know it wasn't looking great at that time. And it took maybe 6 months. Came back in around August or September time. Played Senior Cup for Roscommon, and it wasn't even at that. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't getting any worse. It wasn't great, but it wasn't getting any worse. So I said I'd kind of keep pushing along, and it's still always in the back of my mind there. So I kind of, in between, say, likes of we'd France and then we'd go into St Andrews, I wouldn't touch the clubs at all. just try and kind of take some of the swelling down and stuff like that. So just make sure I can actually get to the golf course. But I think just in terms of preparation, it's not really ideal, but it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. But at least you've gotten to play this year, because it is your last year in Maynooth, so you do want to enjoy your last, I suppose, 8 or 9 months of college life and playing as much golf as you can.
Absolutely. I give it this was the last hurrah, I'd say, but yeah, definitely just to enjoy I suppose the opportunities I can get with the golf now at the moment. I think that's probably been the biggest kind of aspect for me now this year, especially with all the travel we can do. Like that, those opportunities may be thin enough now in the coming years. So just kind of appreciate the fact that Barry's putting on this fantastic schedule for us and bringing us to all these places and try and give the best shot that it can.
Yeah, and you were certainly a popular winner over there in France. Like, what was the mindset like going down those last few holes? I know there was a little bit of a hiccup, but you got over the line still.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was playing pretty solid, like nothing out of the ordinary. Like Ronan is kind of just very decent golf, and then stood up in 15, and that's when I'm like, oh Jesus, there's a good bit of water down the right there. So unfortunately, I went for a few golf balls went in for a swim, but I think after that, like once that actually happened, I think there was definitely a weight lifted off the shoulders. I was only like I think I was coming 3 ahead going to that, and Jesus, I was nearly 1 behind, and then 2 after the 2 lads I was playing with birdied 16. So just so like there's no pressure on me at that stage. 17 was playing very very tough, very long par 4, 2 very good shots into maybe 15 feet and rolled in the putt for birdie, and it scared the hole in 18 as well for the birdie. So I think the mindset definitely changed once I stepped up from the start of 15 to stepping on the 16th tee. It was definitely a lot different. So I was kind of, rather than being hunted, I was kind of the hunter, for lack of a better term, which definitely makes it a lot easier for you.
Yeah, exactly. And you've had a really consistent spell in Maynooth over the last 4 or 5 years, and you played Palmer Cup as well in 2021. And as we all know, Barry's going to be one of the co-head coaches of the international side when the Palmer Cup comes to Lahinch this July. And obviously Ryan Griffin, Kate Lanigan, your Maynooth buddies are going to be on the team this year as well. Like, you've played in it. What's it like to be amongst the best college players in the world, and what's it like to actually be known as one of the best college players in the world?
That's a nice compliment. I think it's a massive honour. There's, when you look at the players that played there over the years, especially you see the likes of, I think Sam Burns is definitely one that comes to mind there, and others. So there's plenty of Americans and Europeans that are on tour at the moment that he's played Palmer Cup, and there's definitely a lot of LPGA players as well. So I think it really does kind of serve as motivation, is what I'd say, for the likes of myself. David Kitt's another one that played Palmer Cup with us as well during my time, and Griff and Kate as well. I think it's just an absolutely fantastic experience, and definitely for Griff and Kate to be going down to Lahinch as well. Absolutely definitely one of my favourite courses on the Rota. It's absolutely been nothing short of amazing, I think.
Absolutely, and it would be great to get a lot of Irish support down there as well for the week, because it is the best college players in the world. It's free in, inside the ropes. You can get as close as you like, and it should be a brilliant week.
Yeah, dead right. The level of competition running is absolutely outstanding. I think it's definitely the best amateur golf I've played against over my career, I suppose. Like some of the stuff that you see these guys do, is absolutely insane. So I suppose just to be able to experience that, and definitely for a crowd watching, it's as close you get to a very very high standard of golf that you could see outside of Walker Cup, really. So I think just to be able to experience that, there definitely will be a big attraction now this summer.
Absolutely, and to have 4 Irish players on the team is obviously fantastic as well. Like, you played with some cracking players the era you played as well, and Lauren Walsh is one of those, as you mentioned. It's mad to see what some of the players achieve, and then maybe there are other players you thought were unbelievable who maybe haven't kicked on as well. It just shows you how fickle golf can be. Yeah,
absolutely, Ron. You even see that, I suppose, at a more granular level when you're playing, when you're a young lad and you could be playing on some of the panels and stuff like that. It's the nature of the game. Especially, even though I was like Palmer Cup, there's some players there I was thinking oh my God, they're absolutely amazing. Some just haven't really kicked on. But yeah, it's a funny old game. Like, even myself, when I was trying to play, the injuries and stuff like that can, they can just stall your progress and stuff like that. So yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, and Alex Fitzpatrick was one of the players on your team. He's kind of come into the spotlights in somewhat since the whole Netflix documentary as well. Like, what was he like as a player?
Absolutely fantastic. The stuff he can do was absolutely amazing. I'll never forget his short game. There was a nice little indoor area where we were playing, and he was hitting these flop shots off absolute. I kind of pride myself on a decent short game. I was watching this, I was like, how was he doing it? how is he doing it? He's absolutely savage. So he's playing, I think, up in nearly top 10 in the world at that stage when he's on the Panama Cup for me. He was absolutely unbelievable. So yeah, it's a real eye opener for me, definitely.
Yeah, that just shows the standard that's going to be there in Lahinch this year as well. So if you're thinking about going, I think you couldn't recommend it higher. You missed the West last month, Alan. Of course, as we know, you were playing the Student Series final. So your championship season really does begin with the Irish Am. You know, a tournament you have a decent record in as well. At a golf course, you've done quite well in over the years. Like, what are your expectations for the season ahead? Because you've been away for a couple of years. Are you kind of expecting to contend, or is it just about getting back and enjoying it?
Yeah, I think it's probably a bit of both, Ronan. I think low expectations are the best expectations when it comes to golf. I'll take every shot as it comes. Like, just as I was saying, I'm trying to enjoy my golf more than, I suppose, it's just kind of having the pressure on myself, you know, and to expect to be content and stuff like that. So I think that definitely serves to help me a bit more. But yeah, I think, you know, just go ahead and try and enjoy it. And if things may be that I end up in contention, that'd be great. If not, it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. And I think surely you must be looking forward to it even more, given the golf course that we get to play in Ireland. Like, some of the courses on the rota are up there with the best in the world, particularly like we're the envy of those over in the Scotland and England and in Wales. Like, some of the courses are fantastic here. We've got the addition then of the Amateur Championship up in Ballyliffin, which is something that, from talking to the Irish players, everybody is looking forward to and everybody wants to be there as well.
Yeah, absolutely, Ron. I think the strength of the fields, especially, you know, Ross's Point and obviously Ballyliffin, isn't it, for the amateurs, are going to be absolutely, it's going to be so strong. It'll be the best two fields we'd see anyway. I think it just speaks to the testament of the level of the golf course, and, you know, I suppose the attraction of playing golf in Ireland. It's absolutely be fantastic.
Exactly. And will you play, you know, a busy enough schedule, or with the wrist, will you kind of, you know, pick and choose, and maybe I'd have to take a couple of weeks off here just to nurse up and all that kind of thing?
Yeah, I think so. There'll definitely be picking and choosing going on, Ronan, just to make sure I can get there. Definitely, yeah. I play a lot of kind of ones I'd fancy myself in. I definitely prefer, you know, the links aspect to it. A lot more kind of creativity involved in that, and no trees and links as well, which always helps me, you know, thankfully. So yeah, I think definitely play, you know, the likes of Irish Am, Lahinch, maybe a few others as well. They'd be kind of ones I'd be looking at definitely to, you know, enter and kind of give it a bit of a twist.
Good stuff. Alan, I'd like to thank you very much for joining us today. No doubt you're back, and you're going to be back stronger than ever this year, hopefully.
Fingers crossed anyway, Ron.
Good stuff. Mind yourself.
No, appreciate it, Ron. Thank you very much.